If you truly want to get faster on the bike, push your FTP, hold a higher power output, finish long hard races, you need to lift weights this winter. Spending some time in the gym will actually be the secret sauce to training, provide you with more watts and durability this season. Now let's get into it. I'm Coach Sierra, and this video wraps up our 4-part series on strength training for cyclists. If you've been following along, we've covered everything from building muscle to turning that strength into watts on the bike. Plus, we went over how to maintain these gains year-round. This is a quick recap video on each phase: hypertrophy, strength, power, and maintenance. This will help better understand how they all fit together. Part 1 is about building the engine. Hypertrophy is the phase where you build muscle size and durability. We need this because it creates the foundation for everything that comes next. It's like building your base on the bike. When I said hypertrophy was like building the engine, that's how we need to think of it as. You're actually making a bigger engine by increasing the cross-sectional area of each muscle fiber and packing in more contractile machinery so that the whole muscle can handle more work. Hypertrophy training is all about total volume and about how close you can get to failure. Depending on how experienced you are at the gym, using a variety of weight achieves hypertrophy. In the FasCat 10-week program, you have 4 times per week at the gym, with the big goal to get close to failure with proper technique. That's ultimately what drives muscle growth. In this phase particularly, nutrition matters. Now, I'm not saying overdo the protein shakes, but aim for 1.4 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day. And really make sure these foods are also leucine rich. So beef, chickpeas, quinoa, chicken, soybeans, dairy products, nuts, and seeds. These are all leucine-rich foods. You can pair hypertrophy with zone 2 training as well, and since the main goal is just to get close to failure with hypertrophy, it's okay to do your zone 2 training before or after the gym workout. Bottom line, hypertrophy is the foundation. This is the muscle that you build that you then teach to produce force and quickly output that force into watts on the bike. Part 2, building max force. The strength phase switches the focus from building size and density of the muscle to creating power with that amount that we already have produced in the muscle. This phase is really focused on heavy loads, which is typically between 70 and 100% your 1 rep max. Or if we're on a 1 to 10 RPE scale, we want above 5. And it is also a low rep phase. What does this mean? Probably something like 3 to 6 sets per exercise. The research on strength training shows this type of heavy lifting improves cycling efficiency, sprint power, and time trial performance. It's not going to directly boost your VO2 max, but it makes each pedal stroke more economical. The reason for this is the heavy lifting enhances neuromuscular coordination. So what does that mean? In other words, your brain learns how to recruit more muscle fiber, which then allows greater force and allows the brain to become more efficient and precise at recruiting that muscle mass. So you're not losing energy in the process. And when we lose less energy, our pedal stroke becomes more economical and our riding becomes more efficient. Additionally, when your max strength goes up, each pedal stroke becomes a smaller percentage of that max power that you have. So if we're using less of our capacity, you can ride for longer and also climb stronger and sprint harder. So to this point, hypertrophy is building that engine and strength is tuning it to produce more torque on the bike. Number 3, we're turning the strength and power into speed. Now that you have the muscle and the strength, it's time to turn that force into speed. And that's where the power phase comes in. This is when we shift from heavy and slow gym work to fast and explosive. You'll train between light and moderate loads, typically between 45 to 60% your 1 rep max. But the big focus here is on velocity. We want to move as quickly as possible through these lifts. Typically, the amount of reps you're doing is also lower. Once we start to lose our explosiveness, the exercise isn't becoming as efficient. This phase is going to particularly develop your rate of force development, which is how fast your muscles can fire and coordinate. For cyclists, this translates directly into snappier acceleration, quicker access to torque in each pedal stroke, and a smoother, more efficient pedal stroke. Ultimately, you'll feel better on zone 2 rides because you'll be able to access that power quicker in each pedal stroke. You'll feel quicker on county line sprints or race sprints. Power training includes movements like jump squat, explosive leg press, plyometric jumps or step-ups, and resisted bike sprints. You're teaching your muscles to apply force quickly, so we're not doing slow and grinding work. The research shows that explosive work improves sprint performance and cycling economy, as well as fatigue resistance. So at this point, we've got the muscle, we've got the torque, and the power phase allows us to have the speed to access this force and power that we've created in our legs. So how do we hold on to this as long as we can? Part 4 is how to keep those gains all season long, and that's the maintenance phase. Now, I know that many cyclists drop weightlifting completely during their season, but this is really where you could go wrong and lose potential watts that you've worked hard to get throughout the offseason. A study by Stead and colleagues found that cyclists who continued strength training just once per week during the season maintained all the muscle and strength they had built earlier and even improved their peak power and time trial performance. Whereas cyclists that stopped doing strength training altogether did not see the same benefits, did not maintain their strength, and did not improve as much on the bike. The secret to doing maintenance and having it not interfere with your race schedule is keeping the intensity and the volume lower. As I said, research showed that you only need one session per week. You can use moderate load, which will be about 60 to 75% your max 1 RM. You only need to do 1 or 2 sets of 3 reps per exercise, and just focus on the big compound movements, such as deadlift, squat, step-ups, and feel free to throw in a power movement such as box jumps. Remember, if you miss a week or two, that's okay. We just don't want to miss more than 5 to 6 weeks in a row, so try to get in the gym at least once a week throughout the year. You shouldn't leave the gym feeling extremely exhausted. Think of maintenance kind of like a trickle charger to your body. It keeps your system active and maintains muscle tension, and is just preventing those hard-earned gains from fading away. Basically a booster shot to your neuromuscular system, and your pedal stroke will thank you for it. So that's the full strength training journey that we've been on. Hypertrophy is building the muscle. Strength is teaching that muscle to produce force. Power, continuing to teach that muscle to produce that force fast. And maintenance is allowing this whole system to work year-round. Each phase builds on the last. Together, they will make you a stronger, faster, and more durable cyclist. Like I've mentioned in the past, we have a progressive step-by-step in our 10-week FasCat program and in our 30-week off-season FasCat program. Both will cover each phase that we've talked about. And of course, if you found this series helpful, please subscribe to the channel, hit like, and comment any questions you have. Or comment what phase you are in: hypertrophy, strength, power, and maintenance. I'd love to hear what you're working on. Thanks y'all for tuning in to this series, and go spend some hours in the gym. Bye.